Court TV did a segment with their makeup artist, and their makeup artist created with makeup an injury.
Let me tell you something.
That looks so real.
Let me tell you something. I worked on set to do hair and makeup for like this internal promotion for this toilet paper, Georgia Pacific. So the guy had like a neck brace on, and he was supposed to look like he got into a fight. I got some makeup and was like, do.
And made him look like he was injured in a fight.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Just some dark black and dark blue makeup. Put it all the way around his eye. He looked like he got beat up.
It was amazing to
Very
see
easy.
how Court TV's makeup artist put that injury on. I was like, oh my God, if I saw a picture of that, I would say, as a jury, if I'm sitting there going, that's how he beat her badly, oh my God, he's guilty.
And then let me tell you, not only did I do that, I did that with like 99-cent beauty supply store. So I mean, it was like, oh, let me see this.
You didn't need the expensive stuff?
It was so easy. Like, I'm not even using MAC. I'm using like the $1.99 palette.
The dollar store.
She returned the black eye the next day.
You returned the black eye?
Don't be telling my secrets. That's between me.
Take the black eye
and
back.
all those who only know, only the knows. Those who know won't tell them. Those who tell won't know. Okay, keep them secrets to yourself.
Welcome to another episode of a Diva Court.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm your host, Marcia Mignot, and with me is my co-diva.
It's Dana.
Tire slashing Smith, that would be. Watch episode 2, you'll see what I'm talking about.
With me is Hoochie Mama Marcia.
Lies, lies, lies.
You ain't know about Hoochie Mama.
We're not responsible for the things she's going to say.
That's
okay?
why she got that jacket on, because she got in trouble by her man.
I'm going to start the show, okay? We do not own the rights to the things we're going to talk about, and we do need to shut her up.
I'm going to be on the show like this.
Look, I'm not going to be liable for her feelings. That's what she said in season 1. Because this show is for edutainment purposes only. And I'm going to do that only because this diva is starting the show off the rails. Okay? Please look for our episodes every Wednesday. Join us on Spotify. Apple Podcasts.
Apple.
And Google Podcasts.
Google us.
Look, we're going to need some better chains because we can't contain this one. Them chains right there, they're too sparkly to work. We're going to need some real chains, okay? Don't forget to look for our episodes on YouTube every week. Wednesdays, we push them out for you real good. And this episode is sponsored by Cray Cray. Cray Cray is the kind of medication she needs to take so that she can do the show. 2 doses a day. 1 with breakfast, 1 with dinner. Cray Cray. Find it at a local pharmacy near you. Honestly, listeners, this episode is really sponsored by Cutie Nails and Spa in Midtown, offering manicures, something this diva does not like to get. Pedicures. She don't like those either. Facials. Oh, she got one today. And lashes. She got some lashes. Don't forget to join the Cutie Nails and Spa in Midtown and let a cutie take care of you. Hey, cutie. Okay, topic number 1, facial. This is how Amber Heard's face looked when she heard the verdict that dropped in the Depp v. Heard case. That's how she was looking. The jury awards, listeners, Johnny Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages, which will be reduced by the laws of Virginia to $350,000. It's capped. Then they awarded Amber $2 million on one of the counts of her defamation for something that Johnny Depp's lawyer said. What did the lawyer say? The lawyer said that Amber and her friends decided to rough up the room a little bit and pour a little wine, spill it all over the place, and then call the police to stage an event. And that the lawyers for Amber and her PR people were involved in putting that forged, staged room together. The jurors said, that's a little bit too far. There was no evidence to prove that that actually happened, so Johnny owes Amber $2 million. I wouldn't be mad if I'm Johnny, because guess what? That's $8,350,000 net judgment for Johnny Depp. What's your take?
Oh,
Diva?
I can speak now?
No, you cannot. So, like I said, Johnny.
You see how they try to Ursula me?
Yeah.
I feel attacked.
No.
Like Amber, you know.
No, what part of no, you
they
can't
told
speak
me
now?
I couldn't talk. I can't say nothing. You just took my voice.
What?
I'm supposed to be Ariel up in here.
But
like,
you-
ooh, la, 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 la,
I
la.
guess it's not
You just
working.
You just snatched my voice.
It didn't
say
work.
What I want to say.
It didn't work. Because I said, no, you can't speak.
The jury said, you lying, bitch. That's what the jury said. That's what you said.
The jury said, look at here.
Look at here.
We don't believe you.
Did they say, look at here?
Look at here.
Look at here, look at here, look at here.
We
now.
don't believe you. We think you did it maliciously. Because remember now, the standard for defamation for a private individual is different from the standard for defamation in a public figure. A public figure, you have to show that there was malice. Because remember, public figures get criticized all
the
day
time.
long.
Right.
And we just can't have every public figure just filing a lawsuit because somebody said something mean and nasty about you.
Right.
But the public figure can still collect. As you can tell in this case just was wild. It went, I mean, there were no rails at one point.
How do you poop on someone's bed and then write an ad about how you were mistreated? I pooped on his bed, though.
She said, I mistreated the sheets, not the man. There's a difference, okay? If I mistreat your sheets, sir, you can't complain, all right?
She took my concept of, you know, if you cheat on me, I'll beat up.
I'm gonna get your car.
To a whole nother level.
Yeah, she did. She elevated.
She did. Go ahead.
But you know what? I think a lot came out of this case, and I think the most important thing that came out of this case was that
Bitches be lying. Bitches be lying.
Okay, let me start there.
What, bitches be lying?
Women lie.
Yes.
They lie about being
Women
victims.
do not lie. Bitches be lying.
Women lie.
Nah.
Women
Real
lie.
women don't lie. Bitches be lying.
Women lie. Now, they may have a motive. Yeah, because they may have a motive behind why they lie.
That's because they a bitch. Because hence the motive. Because there's an agenda. In order to be, that's the action word. Is,
Okay,
yeah.
so you think you're describing their conduct.
Boop, there it is.
All right, then I'll let you have that. But I think the most important thing that came out of this for the general public across the world is that men can be victims of domestic violence.
That's true.
There was this myth before Johnny Depp said it's time to put this in the streets, that only women were victims of domestic violence. In fact, when people are talking about the Me Too movement and when it first launched, I wanted to launch a Him Too movement.
No, you didn't. Because when we were like, we believe women, I said, we can't be believing women. And you were like, we need to believe women. Remember that episode?
Wait.
Was that an episode that
I
we
think
did?
you're confusing your statements with mine.
I didn't say. I said we don't believe no women. We don't believe you.
No.
Oh,
I
you
believe.
did say we was on the same page because you said we believe you if you have some evidence.
Thank you for clarifying.
Okay, I stand halfway halfway corrected.
All the way corrected. Okay. I always like evidence.
And
the reason I like evidence,
believe women.
let me tell you something. I like evidence because I know human beings are capable of some horrendous things. They will lie, they will cheat, they will steal,
stab.
I'm telling you, they will murder,
kill.
they will do a lot. So because I know human conduct and I know that human beings are capable of a lot, including lying, I always like corroborating evidence.
Yeah.
I love evidence to support where I'm going to go, especially because the damage to the accused is so life altering that I always want to make sure that we're not altering somebody's life improperly. You should be held accountable for your actions, but to be innocent and ruined, and sometimes you can't come back from the ruin. Sometimes it doesn't just ruin the person accused, it ruins their family.
See, I stopped trusting women when you go after money and not after jail time.
That is correct.
Like,
because if you commit a crime against me, I want you to go to jail. Before I even talk about a paycheck, before I even talk about lawsuit, before I even talk about gathering evidence or keep it, I want you in prison.
Yeah.
That's where I want you. So my focus, my whole energy, my focus, my time will be devoted to making sure you're convicted. And then after you're convicted, if somebody says, guess what? Do you know what? He has a Rolls Royce parked over there at the driveway. I can say, you know what? And I want that too.
Yeah.
But I've gotten the main goal, which is you should lose your freedom for what you did to me.
And then if you lose your freedom, but the civil case don't go anywhere, you shouldn't.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay even if I can't collect it. You know what I mean? I don't feel bad because you're in prison.
Because you're in prison.
But the problem you have is that when that movement came about, it was so broad.
Yeah.
And it was like a fish net that you throw in the ocean, and you're trying to get lobster, but you got fish, you got turtles, you got all kinds of stuff in there that's not necessarily what you're after.
And you know what else makes me real like suspect is that if you don't go to the police, not the women who are so traumatized that they can't. I'm not speaking about those women. I'm speaking about the women who do put it out there to get a civil suit, which is the other one.
You mean Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby, homegirl.
She took checks and then 40 years later came back and wanted criminal. And I think that would be backwards.
Right.
I can understand you putting him in prison 40 years ago and now you want his money.
But my thing is that who are you protecting? Because you got the money, but if this guy is who you say he is,
and he's not in prison, he's harming other women.
Here. So that's why I don't like you, I don't trust you, and I don't believe you because you went for the money.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And you went for the money. You didn't go for the situation. So now it seems like this is transactional.
Hypocrisy.
Sounds a little prostitution to me.
Hypocrisy. Pay me first, and then we can talk about you losing your freedom. If my career doesn't take off, because if my career takes off, I'm not going out there.
I don't have time to go.
I'm not going to dirty myself
trial.
up. I'm not going to dirty myself up. I don't want my kids to see that. I'm not going to put myself through that.
No.
So yeah. This Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case, let me tell you something. It was a doozy. I don't even think Court TV realized how big this case was going to be.
Yeah.
It just took on a life of its own and people just could not stop watching. And I think what they couldn't stop watching is the fact that the Depp team, the attorneys on that team, they were prepared. Mm-hmm. They came for the business.
So Amber, she got her attorneys from like second tier law offices.
Maybe
something?
Jack in the Box. I don't know.
The second tier law offices of Virginia.
The thing about it is though, is that when you lie, you can't even blame Amber's attorneys. You have to blame Amber because an attorney can only present a case that they get.
That's
so
true.
If I have a bad client and I have bad facts and I have bad evidence, don't blame me. Now, there were some hiccups.
Can you blame them when you say like, maybe because she had to still get defended. So I guess.
No, I can blame her attorney in certain places in the trial. When Amber's attorney could not rephrase a question, when she drew an objection for hearsay, and she could not rephrase the question and asked a direct examination question, that's when I said, okay, lawyer, you're slipping. You're slipping, because that's something you learn in law school. On direct examination, you're going to have to ask open-ended questions, direct examination questions. On cross-examination, you get to ask leading questions.
So give us an example of how she jacked up.
Okay, she was there and she asked the question.
I want you to do her voice and everything.
Tell me, what did John say to you when you came in the room? Objection, Your Honor, hearsay. I'm trying. I promise you, that's exactly what she did. She's standing at the podium. She was like, I'm trying here.
You know, that reminds me of, remember that lady who was like, Marsha, I'm smart too. And I can, you remember what I'm talking about?
I do not know.
No, we were in court. And you were just laying out the questions, boom, boom, boom. And then the young girl, you were objecting to her, and she was like, we're all smart, Marsha.
Oh, I do.
Okay, can you?
Okay, so I was handling an immunity hearing. It was an immunity hearing, and I know the rules of evidence because I'm supposed to know the rules of evidence. So when I was objecting and she couldn't get past the rules of evidence, she would start picking up a sheet of paper that she had all the rules on a piece of paper, and she laminated it and everything. And if it wasn't on that document, she couldn't handle it. But I guess she was trying to, you know what? I
was this the one when she was in the tunnel and she was talking to you and she pulled you like, I'm smart too?
No, this is the one that was reading from the laminated evidence, rules of evidence sheet. And I became so upset. I was like, look, Judge, I don't have time to teach her the law.
Marsha.
But yeah, that was quite a treat. But this attorney,
how did she look when she said, I'm really trying here?
Yeah. I'm trying. You can't do that. You're on national television. You're on a national stage. You represent a star, Amber Heard, the alleged victim of domestic violence. You got to bring your A game. You have to know how to ask the question. Write them down, for God's sakes, if you don't know how to ask them.
Listen, Heard's legacy is going to be this case, because honestly, I didn't know she was even in Aquaman 2 or 1 or whatever. I didn't know who she was.
I didn't either
until Johnny Depp made her, and then he broke her. And this is what.
Well, she broke herself, because it was 2 years after their relationship ended that she wrote an op-ed.
Yeah.
The op-ed said, I am the poster child for sexual violence. And I think that's where she went wrong. Yeah. I think if she had said domestic violence, she would have gotten away with it. But she alleged in the op-ed title that she reposted, which is a republication of the defamatory statement. You can't have a third party make a defamatory statement. You republish that defamatory statement and then want to say, I didn't write that.
Right.
Washington Post wrote that.
Right.
No, you republished it. And then when you republished it, you put yourself in it, then it became your publication. And unfortunately, she used the word sexual violence. I think if she had said domestic violence,
it'd have been different.
Clear. Her victory would have been yesterday.
Why didn't her attorneys tell her to settle?
Because Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Wait, say that again?
The name of the firm. Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Pick that up.
No, but you would say the evidence was here's probably why they didn't tell her to settle. There was plenty of evidence that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard had a toxic relationship. There was enough evidence to say that there was domestic violence on both sides. So they probably thought,
like Trump, there are bad people on both sides.
No, they're good people on both sides.
I understand that, but in this situation,
there were bad people on both sides.
In Virginia.
Oh, well, there it is. Where the tiki torch is at.
Hello. But I think why her attorneys felt like they had a good case was because they had recordings, they had photos that she alleged shows the abuse. She had...
When she play herself in the movie, because that's probably the only role she gonna ever get, she gonna be playing herself in her movie about this situation. Are they gonna have that one scene where she paints
her face?
Paints her.
No, that'll be somebody else's movie. Okay, she's gonna put the makeup
She
on.
might as well. That's the only role.
But
she
you know,
gonna
it's funny
get
you
after
said
this.
that. It's funny you said that because Court TV did a segment with their makeup artist, and their makeup artist created with makeup an injury
Let me tell you something.
that looks so real.
Let me tell you something. I worked on set to do hair and makeup for like this internal promotion for this toilet paper, Georgia Pacific. So I had to. The guy had like a neck brace on, and he was supposed to look like he got into a fight. I got some makeup and was like, do,
and made him
Very
look like he
simple.
was injured in a fight.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Just some dark black and dark blue makeup. Put it all the way around his eye. He looked like he got beat up.
It was amazing to
Very
see
easy.
how Court TV's makeup artist put that injury on. I was like, oh my God, if I saw a picture of that, I would say, as a jury, if I'm sitting there going, that's how he beat her badly, oh my God, he's guilty.
And then let me tell you, not only did I do that, I did that with like 99-cent beauty supply store. So I mean, I didn't have. It was like, oh, let me see this.
You didn't need the expensive stuff?
It was so easy. Like I'm not even using MAC. I'm using like the $1.99 palette.
The dollar store.
At the beauty
She
supply
returned the
store.
black eye the next day.
You returned the black eye.
Don't be telling my secrets. That's between me
Take the black eye
and
back.
all those who only know, only the knows.
Oh.
Those who know won't tell them. Those who tell won't know. Okay, keep them secrets to yourself.
But it speaks volumes. That case had so much mess in it. It had a lot of mess in it. You could tell when they were going to lose. Every time I was thinking, all right, maybe they put the checkbook back. There would be evidence that come out that make me say, all right, they put the checkbook back out. They pulled the checkbook back out. The critical moments in the case was when Amber Heard was testifying on the stand, and she was talking about how when Johnny Depp was going after her sister, and that she was jumping in to stop him from causing physical harm to her sister. And it just came into my mind. Kate Moss just immediately came into my mind. Kate Moss is a model that dated
on-
Johnny Depp previously.
And she was on drugs.
If you had looked at Johnny Depp's attorney when Amber testified that what came to her mind was Kate Moss, he was like, yes. He was so excited that his whole professional demeanor left the courtroom, and he was fist bumping because he knew they had already spoken to Kate and she was ready to testify from England virtually. And although she was not on the witness list,
She was a
what I
rebuttal
want the
witness.
listeners to
Impeachment
know,
witness.
she's an impeachment witness,
Yeah.
and I can impeach you with anything. I don't have to tell you what I'm going to impeach you with because I don't know whether you're going to lie or not. And if you
Right.
tell the truth, I don't need to call that witness.
Right.
So the law allows you to impeach someone with a surprise witness based on what she said. So, and what made it even worse is Amber Heard's team didn't even cross-examine her. So
what
she testified that there was no incident where Johnny pushed her down the stairs, and that she was in Jamaica. She and Johnny were in Jamaica. It was raining, and that he left the room before her, and she was leaving the room behind him, but it was raining and storming, and the place was wet, and she was coming down the stairs, and she fell and injured herself, and he ran back, picked her up, got her back, and got her medical attention.
like a movie.
Like a movie.
And picked her up.
A
the
damsel
rain
in
just
distress.
running down his hair in the rain. He's shaking it. She's like,
with his muscle.
right,
Oh,
with his must.
my
Well, he look
hero.
like he a little fat now.
Well, it didn't happen
Maybe-
yesterday.
oh, let me tell you. Listen, I watched most of it on Facebook, so it was pretty like real small
Snippets.
snippets. And when I say small snippets, I mean like when she was
Trying to
crying
cry?
in front of the camera, and she was like,
Stiff.
"No, taking a picture." Put the camera, holding the tissue for the picture, like
Posing.
yes, or where allegedly there was a cocaine incident where she took something
The
out
tissue.
of her.
Oh, the trolls raked her over the coals. Oh my God.
you
They even when
snap
she
your
was
finger?
trying to wipe her nose, they were like, "Don't you see? She
did that.
inhaled in.
She
Who
did.
who blows their nose
And then-
in
and
instead
then
of out?"
wipe-
Oh, they were killing that girl. I don't think
Maybe they reversed.
they were visceral. I kind of feel sorry for her. I
And then-
kind of feel sorry for her.
And then when she was like, and then I looked at the dirty carpet. And then Because who is thinking about the dirty carpet when you're getting your ass beat?
No, you're not thinking
And
about the dirty
then
carpet.
the other one where, and then Johnny, he was talking to me, and I spun around and I walked out the door, and then he slapped me. Like, how do you slap somebody when you're walking out the door?
She lost this case on the sexual violence.
She lost this case on the lies.
There was more than one impeachment.
Like leave the script writing
And
to the professionals.
And
like, stop winging it.
No, but you know what?
I'm
They called her acting coach as a witness. And the acting coach says she has difficulty crying when she's lying. That was the testimony of her acting coach. So when she was
no
testifying and she could barely get some tears out, they were like, yep, that's a lie.
Oh, she has difficulty
Crying when it's fake, when it's a lie, when it's something she has to perform. Yeah, when it's
okay, I
not
see what you're
true.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So her acting coach is saying she has difficulty
wait,
crying.
Are we saying like all her people testified against her?
Some of her people, because her makeup artist testified for her. Her makeup artist said that she was helping her cover bruises. Now, the problem with the makeup artist's testimony is that on cross-examination, the makeup artist couldn't tell who created what bruises she
Right.
was covering. So it doesn't matter.
Artist was doing the bruises. Like, hold on, come on, we could look, this one look real better if we add some more.
Allegedly.
And it's blue and black.
Look, all I can say is
Beauty
that's
supply store. This ain't my good makeup. So
This
we
the
can
dollar?
I can mess with this one. How much you just write that check? Allegedly.
they said they covered it. They covered the makeup.
Right. She said, I got this covered. I got you covered, boo. I covered.
Well, there's a lot of individuals that's saying that they think that this verdict is going to have a chilling effect on true domestic violence victims.
Yeah,
do
like-
you buy that?
I do, because like when you're innocent and you kill somebody, that is gonna affect the real victims of who get shot to not want to testify against the person who shot them when you are found to be innocent.
Okay,
it's
so
gonna make you stop.
Are you saying it's a sham and a mockery? It's a
Shamery.
shamockery.
A shamery. I was trying to get there.
A shamockery.
Because all of the gun violence victims are going to stop when they find out that if you don't have enough evidence,
The person doesn't get convicted.
the person doesn't
So
get
we're gonna
convicted.
stop arresting
we're gonna
murder
stop arresting murderers.
suspects.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
one suspect got off.
Yeah.
So because OJ got off, we stopped prosecuting.
There you go. Maybe when bitches stop lying, then we won't have to, prosecute them. Or maybe you should be prosecuted for what you did, but because she didn't call the police, that's the only reason.
No, she did call the police.
She did.
She did. They showed up twice.
Did she file a police report?
No.
Did she use a microphone before?
There you go again.
But Dana didn't.
Did she file a police? Well, because if I was Amber, I'd be right up in here like, and then I picked up the dirty phone and I dialed the numbers by rotary. And it took so long and I was very scared.
By the
because
time
he
they
could've
got there,
came at any time.
I said, never
and
mind.
I was hiding off in the closets, peeking out ever so slightly. And finally, as I dialed the last one in 911, he opened the door, snatched the phone. So that is why you don't have a police report.
because he snatched the phone before the cops got there.
Before the cops.
Wow.
Even though 911 actually records, still will pick
They
up
do.
and
They
come
do.
after you.
They do.
But in her story, that's why she needs to
They
let
do.
the script writers write the script.
Yeah, but
just
they
stay
couldn't.
on the script.
To be honest with you, her experience was bad enough. Like the toxicity of their marriage was bad enough. I don't know why she thinks she had to embellish, because I think if she had just told the truth and not embellish the things that she experienced, it would have been enough.
Well, the attention that she received from the initial, letter, I mean, she sparked the Me Too movement. She was the movement.
Well, no, she wanted to ride the Me Too movement. And
Right.
unfortunately, the Me Too movement was like a bucking bronco.
Right, but
it
instead
threw her off.
But what I'm saying is that when you get to the place where you're being sued, that's when you're like, oh, Johnny, I know we was bad to each other. Let's work this out.
Settle
it.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
talk to the people and be like,
But you know what? I think there was so much damage to him. And I think people were saying things like wife beater, rapist, because remember, she alleged that he assaulted her with a bottle, sexually assaulted her with a bottle.
wow.
And that she didn't know if the bottle was broken or not.
You don't know if the bottle was broken.
That's
up
why
into
people are saying it's outlandish.
Il Nana? Like, what are we doing?
It's outlandish. So
you don't know if not only if you're getting penetrated by the bottle, you're getting like scratched.
She said
extra.
she just felt pelvic pain, but she wasn't certain what the pelvic pain was.
This can't be real life.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you. Had she just stuck with the truth, I am certain they had scuffles. I am certain that Johnny was drunk or high, or you know what I'm saying.
Are you certain though?
Well, based on even some of the
what he testified
some of the photos of him. You understand what I'm saying? Some of the photos of him, some of the recordings of him. Like they played a recording of Johnny on the plane, and it was clear he sounded like the Russian guy that had gotten poisoned, like a fire truck. I was like, oh my God, okay, something's wrong with you. You're under the influence of something. I don't know what you're under the influence of, and the jurors heard that.
So he was on drugs, but they don't have any evidence of him physically hurting her.
That is it. Because he admits to being out on drugs. He admits to having to go to rehab. He admits to having to go through treatment. He admits to all of that. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, it's not enough that a person is a drug addict for you to say, I'm a victim of sexual violence.
With a bottle, a broken bottle.
But me being a drug addict.
Wait, did she go to the hospital?
No, there was no medical treatment.
Wait, are you telling me
she
that
testified.
She got a bottle
Yes.
a bottle that's broken?
Yes, that's a bottle.
Yes.
This
yes.
is-
that gavel bottle.
And it's broken.
That gavaddle. The gavaddle.
And it's broken. And it's stuck up all up in there.
Yeah.
And you telling me
She didn't need any
didn't go to
medical
hospital.
attention. Yes. And that's why the jurors
that
said.
is why we cannot allow for the country to not have abortions.
Oh my God.
But
that's all, folks.
You don't know if they are gonna go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm going with that? The bottle up there to swing it in. No.
No. We can't work with that. I'm sorry.
No. Cat caught your tongue, sir.
The dog too.
Is it hot in here? It's hot in here.
Question.
All I'm saying is this.
Go ahead. And say.
That's what I'm just saying. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
That's why they didn't believe her, because she did not get medical treatment, and he had to get medical treatment for the finger he alleged she cut off. And they found a piece of finger on the ground when they showed up.
Did he get that sewed back on?
Yeah, he did.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's real good. At least something good came out of that.
Well, I think what you get your fingertip back,
because he could have lost.
sir. You got your fingertip back.
You know,
Something good came out of that fight.
Nowadays, he was able to put that finger back.
So I'm
on,
glad
so
you got your fingertip back.
You got it back.
That's
honey.
something good came out of it.
He could have lost the finger.
Yes, he could.
Like,
Yes, he could.
how did he preserve it?
They no. When by the time,
in ice.
they picked it up, and the medical providers and rushed him. Remember, he
they put
has
it
a
on
team
ice.
he's got a team, bodyguards and all those people,
How
and he
much
also
is
had
it?
a nurse.
How much do you think it bends? A little bit.
I didn't inspect his fingers. I'm sorry.
She should be sued for that. That's where the money
Look,
is.
she's paying $8,350,000 if she loses her appeal, because her attorney said they're going to appeal. Because
going to appeal. Of course you're going to.
of course
say
you're
that.
going to appeal. Of course you're going to.
Of course you're going to say that.
Well, you have to appeal. You don't want to. If you don't, according to the information out there, according to the rumor has it, she is net worth $12 million. That's not a lot of money, honey. $8 million is two times.
Well, she might want to get rid of her
Start
attorneys.
dumping some assets.
She might want to get rid of her attorneys because according to the Supreme Court, you can't appeal
Post judgment.
post judgment and say in effect
Post jury verdict. Post jury verdict. You need a
Right.
new set of lawyers.
You need a new set of lawyers. You see how I did that?
I saw you did
Because
that.
I used what I know
Oh.
to apply it to the law of the current situation.
Wow.
Case law, case study. Look at that analyzation. I'm just saying.
Wow.
That's what we doing.
Yeah, that's
Question.
Answer.
8 million. Is that really what Johnny Depp was after, or is
50.
there something?
I don't
said
think
50.
Johnny was after a penny. He wanted his character back.
wanted his-
He knew she lied, and he wanted everybody to know she lied. So that's why he wasn't even at the verdict.
He wasn't even there.
No. Johnny was off in London enjoying the Queen's gamut and gamage and all that. The Queen's Jubilee.
Yes.
He's celebrating with the Queen at the Queen's Jubilee. He's on stage
Isn't
at a
that
concert.
nice? Isn't it London where this case really kind of started?
Well, he lost there because he was suing the London.
But now you're back at London. They celebrate.
Well, you sued the tabloids over there, and it was a bench trial. It was a judge.
Okay.
And the evidence rules are different because the rules there, based on the information that's out there, is that Johnny couldn't tell his story. He could only be cross-examined. You understand what I mean? So that's tough when you don't get to do a direct examination. You really don't get your day in court.
That's a civil thing in your...
I don't know if it's civil or criminal because I'd hate to know I'm a criminal and I can't be asked the question, Marsha, where were you at 5 o'clock? You can't ask that. You killed her, didn't you? Oh, I didn't kill. I can only answer cross-examination questions. Oh, that would be a problem for me. I would have to move from London. So let's hope that's a civil rule and not a criminal rule, because that would be painful to violate somebody's due process. That wouldn't even be due process. Why bother going to trial? That's a kangaroo court, not a London court.
Do they still wear the wigs over there?
Yes, they do. And that is...
You think we should implement the wigs?
Absolutely not.
You know, black women, they wearing the wigs already.
They can wear those.
Trust me, there's plenty of toupee.
Yes.
Some toupee action going on.
Toupee and wigs. I'll do those.
You would think that they would get the hair replacement plugs. They're getting better, you know.
They really are. They're stitching them in your brain now?
Pretty much.
Wow.
You know.
Well.
Wait, really quick. I hear you wanting to wrap it up, but one more question. Is this just a typical toxic relationship? Is that why she just didn't tell the regular truth? Because no one would find that interesting?
Nobody would find it interesting. The Washington Post would not do an op-ed on me and my man have fights.
Have y'all heard
That's
that?
not enough.
Have y'all heard that Kendrick Lamar song? Have you heard it? You know what I'm talking about?
I wish you would give me a song title.
Yeah, I need a.
No,
can we get a hint? Name that tune. Can we get 5 notes?
His new CD.
Okay.
Do you listen to Kendrick
the
Lamar?
one that they're fighting, yes.
What? Duh. I thought you was going to pick up what I was putting down. You should have already known what I was
You should have put it down a little neater.
Just
I wasn't
a little bit
expecting,
closer.
Marsha, I wasn't expecting you to know, but I was expecting him to know. You know
Producer didn't know.
He didn't know. He's supposed to know because before I get there, you should know. You should know.
What about the song?
Well, it's about a relationship where the man and the woman, they going back and forth with each other, arguing, and this, we can't say the N-word anymore, right?
No, you cannot.
We can't say that. So, there's a lot of N-words this, and there's a lot of B's there, and a lot of N-words there, bloop, 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 and they arguing back and forth, and then at the end, they're making love.
Wow.
So, it sounds like it's a very toxic relationship, but it sounds like an everyday situation.
The problem is that I think at the climate of the country at the time she made the allegations, because it was 6 years ago. Remember, 6 years ago, she made the allegation. I think the climate, she needed to take it to that sexual level, because the Bernstein, the Ernstein, the Weinstein, all the Steens were all high-powered.
And the Cosby.
Yeah, and the Cosby. These are high-powered men. They control the movie industry, or they control the music industry, or they control something. You understand what I mean? Like the R. Kelly. It had to be something sexual. And I think she knew that if she didn't come up with a sexual allegation and just a regular old, I'm a victim of domestic violence, people would have been discount.
Let me take
I
this.
I think that's the answer to the question.
Let me take this there. So one of the issues why, what they're saying is that men in power are taking advantage of women who want to get through the industry.
Correct.
Does that make it to where we come off as being damsels in distress? Like what I'm trying to say is, if we're pushing this concept that women aren't strong enough to say, no, you're not going to disrespect me, but they will prefer to get this role, so we will rather submit and for that role than go through life standing up for ourselves. Isn't that disrespectful to women? You know what I'm saying?
I think it is. I think.
Can you make that make sense? Because I know some people can't follow what I be saying.
So
thank you. Thank you so much.
Make it make sense. You know what I'm like Kanye. Only certain people get what I say. Is it hot in here?
It's
just saying. Can we turn on the AC?
It's concrete. It's
Let me
concrete.
drink something.
Oh my God. You out of order. I'm glad you gathered yourself.
Make that make sense.
Okay, so I agree with you if what your
Tell the
point
people what
is,
I'm saying.
if your point is
Yeah.
that to allege that a woman
Who is alleging it,
cannot
though?
stand up for herself,
Yes.
and that she's always a victim of a man's sexual advances just because she has to have a career, that it's an insult to women.
Yeah.
Because women are strong, and women are strong enough to say, I'm not going to do that, even if I sacrifice the role.
Yeah.
I do agree with that
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
We should drink. I was drinking to that. We should do it right
Let me have her
now.
drink to that because she looked like
Yes.
she's thirsty.
A little thirsty. Like when I hear the power structure makes women feel like, and it's not consensual, but if you like, it's a
No.
quo.
You have a choice.
You do have a
You
choice.
have a choice. You can say, I will be a victim of these sexual advances because...
But is it a victim though?
No. That's what they're saying in their heads.
Okay.
Because they're saying, I'm going to go ahead and play victim.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and succumb to this sexual advance that I don't want because there's something in it for me.
Yes. So you're not really...
as long as I get that thing, like I keep my job, you understand? Or I get a promotion, or I get that car, or I get the diamonds, or I get to go to the penthouse.
Yeah.
Those are, in my opinion, not victims. Those are volunteers.
That's volunteer. And here's a difference. I do understand that there is a difference between maybe women more so curving their opinion so they can keep their job per se, because you don't want to come off as being too loud or too this or too that. I think that's different because that's kind of
right, but that falls under the professional etiquette. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's professional conduct that I'm not gonna just blurt out what I'm thinking.
Well, no. You know how men have their like boys' room and they say whatever and they have that masculine energy. I don't like to call it toxic. I just feel like it's just masculine energy and they're just throwing out ideas, and it might be uncomfortable for a woman, so she doesn't like interact with.
So you're talking about in a corporate meeting where there's mostly men and there's only limited
she feels
female.
Uncomfortable. I think that's different.
I don't think that would happen in these scenarios. The only reason I say that is because that scenario, for a woman to be in that room where there's a bunch of men, she's already strong. You understand what I'm saying? Think about the type of woman it takes to even be at the table.
I know, but she still feels, what I'm saying is that I don't think that's a problem. I think she still feels uncomfortable, but she still is powering through. I think that's not the same as when you submerge yourself into the victimhood of let me get this and I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? I think that because the culture is a little bit more masculine, so maybe you bite your tongue, or just like being a black woman, when you're not usually in those circles and they don't know your culture and they don't know that your hair does this and that, and we have to assimilate. Right. I think that's different. I think that is a problem. But I don't think that that deciding to have sex for a particular role makes you a victim. I think,
correct.
You see
correct.
what I'm saying?
I would agree with that.
Make sense.
I would agree with that. So let me see if I can paraphrase what you're saying. What you're saying is someone who says, I want this role as an actress, and I know that this person runs the movie industry, and I know that this person is going to make sexual advances of me. I'm going to decide, although I don't want to sleep with this person because I'm hoping that they're going to cast me in that movie, in that role that I'm looking for. Right. You're saying that person is not a victim. Right. You're saying if I'm casted for the role and I come to the set and I expect to film for the movie, and now you're trying to stick your tongue down my throat and your hands are in my pants, now I'm sexually assaulted. You just committed a crime, sir. Right. And I may not speak out in that moment, but once I get out of the environment, I'm going to go where I trust someone and I'm going to share it so that it can be investigated and that the person can be held accountable for that. Exactly. That's a victim.
There you go.
So I wanted the listeners to understand, if I'm paraphrasing what you're saying properly, that there's a difference, and what you find is that some women are manipulating the situation, and then when they don't get out of the situation what they had bargained for in the quid pro quo, which is I'm gonna sleep with you so I can get this part, but then I sleep with you and I don't get the part, now I'm a victim. That's not a true victim.
Exactly. Exactly. And see, and that's why there were a lot of women who slept with him, got the part, didn't say anything, and then came out later on. Like, you can't be coming out later.
Right. Because to be honest with you, even some of the women that were, popular or had become stars were defending Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, are they defending Bill Cosby because they were not victims in his presence, or are they defending Bill Cosby because they actually made it? And I slept with him, but I'm a star.
Or are they defending Bill Cosby because he did and he said no, and they said no, and he
still put them in the part. That's
right.
True. That's
Like,
true. So it could be that. It could be he
that.
made the sexual advance and they said no thanks.
I'm good.
And he said, hey, you're a really good actress, so I would have been nice, but you're still good, and I'm going to cast you in a spot.
And then, I mean, to get back on Bill Cosby, since we didn't leave him yet, but all the young girls,
we left him a long time ago. We left him season 1.
We did. All those young girls he had under his tutelage, like, he ain't sexually harassed them. So if you out here like that, like one after another, like you want your career, I can open up doors, this is what you want. He would have did it to them. To those
I just have a problem with the time frame. 40 years later, you have put somebody at a disadvantage. Yeah. I would not want to defend myself.
Forgot all the ones he probably did it to.
No, but I wouldn't want to.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
But here's the thing: defending himself is still difficult. People have passed. Yeah. Evidence is gone. I can't do a rape kit on you. Right. If you accuse me the night of, then yes, there's evidence I can gather. Right. Or if you accuse me of within a reasonable time frame where I could say, I know who was there. Jim was there, or Karen was there, and I'll just call her to testify. Kind of like Kate Moss. If Kate Moss was deceased in the Johnny Depp case, he'd have been screwed. Because he wouldn't have her to come back and impeach Amber's testimony that she was pushed down the stairs by Johnny Depp. Right. So what I'm saying is, time matters. Good news is it was 6 years ago. Right. If it were 40 years ago, who's to tell what would happen? I mean, COVID took out 1 million people. Your witness could be in that million. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait. Can you accuse me now? I don't think that the Depp verdict, though, I've heard a lot of people say that, and I don't think that the Depp verdict is going to have a chilling effect for domestic abuse survivors. I don't. Real domestic abuse survivors, let me tell you something, there is corroborating evidence to substantiate their abuse. Trust me. Somebody saw something. And even if somebody didn't see anything, there's going to be medical records associated with some of the injuries that he or she, and I say he or she, because they can be both, have suffered, that some medical provider treated and said, I don't believe this person tripped over no shoes in no house and got these injuries. These injuries are not consistent with the story that this person who showed up to my emergency room is telling me. Right. So in that situation, those medical records don't go anywhere, and you would be able to go back and subpoena medical records to substantiate. So hence Amber's story, if her allegation about being sexual violence, being a victim of sexual violence, she would have been able to go back to the medical records when she went to the emergency room and lied and said, oh no, I slipped and fell, and I kind of fell on a pole, and my shoe was kind of close and it was in my hands, or I was in the bathroom and I
fell on the bottle.
Yeah.
I just fell on the bottle.
She would have made up a story.
I don't argue. What a bottle. Y'all know that song?
No.
You know that song? You know that song?
She would have medical records to corroborate, even if the medical records.
I just fell my coochie on the bottle.
I'm trying. Let me do like the lawyer. I'm trying. Let me do Amber Heard's lawyer. I'm trying.
Look up. Did you look up?
I'm trying. I'm trying to keep the show, people, so that we can talk about these topics seriously.
Bitches be lying.
And get to a point.
Real women don't lie.
No, my point to the people who are saying that is that real women will lie, but there'll be corroborating evidence that they're lying. Right. So here's how they will lie. I didn't injure.
I like how you did that.
No, he didn't injure me. He didn't injure me. And the medical records are saying, sweetheart, like your eye is as big as a grapefruit. Your nose is broken in 5 spots. Your chin is split. What do you mean?
I just fell on his fist. I tripped.
What do you mean you walked into a door? You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you
doorknob is down here, ma'am.
It's not about real women not lying. Real women will lie. They will lie for their abusers.
That's true.
But what I'm saying, and the point I'm trying to make is there's evidence that will prove that they are lying and covering for their abusers.
So how about real women will cover up?
Real women will lie.
Okay.
Because covering up is a lie. If he punched you in your nose and you're telling them you walked into a door, you slip and fell, you're lying. So that lie is just as bad for me as the lie that he punched you in the nose when you knew that there's no injury to your nose, you hadn't seen anybody, and you're testifying that your nose was broken.
Yeah.
She testified she thought her nose was broken. And then there's a photo the next day of her in a glamour shot. She testified that she thought her back was scarred up from some of the injuries. She's in a backless dress a day later. I'm like, sweetheart, if you're going to tell these lies,
Like,
set your evidence up.
that's why I told you she needs to not write the script.
Leave it to the writers.
Leave it to the writers.
That's the moral of the story. But I don't think there's going to be a chilling effect. I
Who
think
says stuff like that? That's just dumb.
No, let me tell you something. People who say stuff like that are people who are not open-minded enough to understand that people will lie. Men will lie. Women will lie.
I think those are the same people who say, like, if you don't have abortions, women will start using hangers. It's just dumb.
No, it's not. I can't even make the analogy with that. I have
like
to
that
make the analogy with the lie. You lie. You understand? People who say things like children never lie. Are you kidding? How many funny videos have you seen where the parent leaves the candy on the counter and tells the child, "Don't eat it till I come back. Don't eat it till I come back." And these are supposed to be funny videos. Mm-hmm. And what is the kid doing? As soon as the parent turns it back, and when the parent comes back in the room, they're like, "Did you eat the candy?" And they're like, I did not eat the candy.
At an older age, would be like, this was like something she wanted, like a bag of chips. And I'm like, "Did you eat them chips?" And she be having it right here. No? So you didn't eat those chips? No, I ain't eat those chips. Why are you lying? I'm not lying. Why? I see the baby behind your back. That's how she be. And I'm at 11.
They will lie.
That was my oldest one a couple of years
Trust
ago.
me.
What you lying for? Like, you're not even good at it. Stop.
They lie. People lie.
Somebody didn't tell Amber she wasn't good at lying.
Well, they probably did, but she probably didn't listen.
Listen, she's good at maybe acting, but like there has to be a follow through. Like that's why there has to be like, a scene, we already said a script. There needs to be a scene. There needs to be props,
all the stuff makeup, to go with it.
Everything that comes with it. You can't just find yourself
a full set.
Right, a whole set. You can't just
not
pop
a partial
in the middle of something like, "I'm here. Let me start making it up as
she
a go."
photobombed her own domestic case.
She did.
You can't photobomb your
can't
domestic case. You have to have a real
domestic violence.
Yeah, I really don't. I think that women are going to still come out. I think that people around that person. I've been to social events, and I've gone to social events, and I can literally tell who's controlled and who's not controlled. You can tell. The reason you can tell is because when the person lifts their arm, when the mate starts flinching, you're like, okay, whoa, all he was doing was scratching his nose.
Girl, what?
Why are you jumping? Yeah.
Are you safe?
Yeah.
Blink that eyelash.
Or, ma'am, blink once if you're getting abused and twice. No, but my point is, you can see that. You see that she doesn't have an opinion. Mm-hmm. Or if she's about to say, he said, "Ma'am, would you like a glass of wine?" And she's having beer. The person interjects. Yeah. They speak. The abuser will speak for them. Yeah. There's a lot of signs. Yeah. There's a lot of signs that somebody's getting abused. Yeah. What I don't like, and this is my pet peeve, is if a victim who's an adult, not a child, don't get me wrong, listeners, I said an adult, does not want to be a victim, please do not victimize them. Here's what I mean by that. Somebody has an argument at their home, husband and wife. Mm-hmm. The neighbor hears the commotion. Mm-hmm. The neighbor calls the police. The police shows up. The woman says, "Nope, it just got too loud." And the argument, no thanks. Mm-hmm. They arrest the husband anyway. The husband gets to court. And the wife says, I'm telling you, it was just an argument that got too loud. Broken glass, but I'm not injured. Nobody's injured. It was just an argument that got out of control. Well, ma'am, here's what we're going to do. If you don't come to trial and testify against him, we're going to lock you up because we subpoenaed you to come. Don't victimize the victim. If she is a victim of domestic violence and she likes it, the prosecutor needs to love it. Okay? Stop wasting taxpayers' money on all forcing. Now you're traumatizing her because she does not want to come forward. She does not want to testify, and she's almost going to have to hire a lawyer. And I've seen situations where the spouse had to hire a lawyer to say, she's not going to testify. She's invoking her spousal privilege. He's not going to testify. Where are we going with this? And you literally have to do 3-4 court appearances before the couple says, all right, prosecution says, all right, we're not, state moves to null, pros judge. You're victimizing the victim. And you feel really proud and you feel really strong because our office is all about domestic violence victims. And but don't victimize the victim, sweetheart. If she doesn't want to be a victim, she doesn't want to prosecute, back away and give her the phone number and say, ma'am, if you need help, here's the number and here's the number for 911. Please know we are here for you. If you want to do something for her, send her some counseling.
Yeah.
Ma'am, we have counseling for you. Before we dismiss this case, we would like the two of you.
Well, you don't even want them to get to a case to be.
No, but what I'm saying is if the police is called out, the prosecutor can't control what the cop does when he shows up at the house.
Right.
So if a cop shows up and says, as long as I show up and it's domestic, I'm taking somebody to jail.
Right. But what I'm saying is that if you don't have an accuser, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's my point.
The case
no, they can subpoena the accuser, the victim.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying,
if you don't have the victim, what you're trying to say is if the victim doesn't show up to court, then the charges have to be dismissed. Right. That's what you're trying to say. What I'm saying is they're further victimizing the victim because they issue a subpoena. No. They issue a subpoena for her to show up is what I'm saying to you.
No, I get all that.
Because they don't want to dismiss the case. So if she says, I'm going off to Hawaii, I'm moving out the state.
No, I don't think you have to clarify it for the... I lost my train of... I don't think you have to clarify it for the... what you said, it makes sense. I just lost my train.
Yeah, so that's what I was meaning by victimizing the victim is if she doesn't want to participate, she doesn't want to prosecute.
I be having random ideas pop in my head.
I can tell they random. I can tell they are...
I lost it before I was able to grasp.
I see.
I wasn't able. You know how I literally sometimes grasp for straws.
I can tell.
I couldn't.
No straws there.
One up.
Fell and busted your face. At least you're not accusing anybody of hurting you.
He did it.
Yeah, so don't victimize your victims. Don't victimize your victim. Prosecute the cases that the person wants the case pursued, and in the situations where the person does not want the case pursued, do not go forward. Send those people to counseling sessions. Teach them anger management. Teach her how to get her voice back. You understand? But do it in a way where you're not traumatizing her. You're not traumatizing your children. I've had cases where the police shows up. The wife was the aggressor. The husband had left the house. He was trying to leave. She grabs him. Something gets knocked over and smashed. Police gets called because the wife, of course, is angry. She didn't want the husband to leave. And because he left, she dialed 911 and she dialed the last one and then hung up. Right? So it's not I have an emergency. She hung up. She hung up.
Okay.
Well, you better say it quick because I don't lose my train of thought.
Right. I know you don't.
And that's a mic.
Okay. So we get to the police makes the arrest, brings it to the prosecutor.
Correct.
The prosecutor has no victim and nobody who wants to show up to do anything. At that point, she could just drop the case, right?
But they don't. They send you a witness subpoena.
Yeah, I get that part.
And make you come.
And that's what you're saying that they should do.
Should not.
No, you're saying that they should drop the case in that moment.
Of course.
Yeah.
If she won't
and then
come.
Maybe say, maybe you should go to some counseling.
No, but even if you don't want to drop the case, what you would say, if the alleged victim does not want to pursue prosecution, he or she must attend domestic violence classes. Because now here's what you're going to educate them on. What's domestic violence? Because a lot of people think, oh, that's love.
And when you say he or she, are you talking about the victim?
Whether the victim is a male or a female. I don't care.
So can you force, this is where I'm going, can you force the victim to go to those classes?
if you're not going to dismiss the case unless he or she
So
does.
is this like a plea agreement that?
No, it is a bargaining tool for the person, or it's a part of your program.
Okay.
Our prosecutor's office does not dismiss domestic violence cases because we're concerned that the next call we get is that
Gonna be dead.
she's dead.
Right.
Or he's dead. So what we do at our prosecutor's office is we force the alleged victim, the person who the officer thought was the victim at the time, if they don't want the case pursued by the prosecutor's office, they must attend a domestic
That's what I
violence
was trying to
class.
get. That's what I was
Because I
trying to
want to educate them
Okay.
on what's domestic violence.
Okay.
So now you have a psychologist in the room and they're like, if you're snatched up like this and that's domestic violence. You're not supposed to be grabbed. You're not supposed to be,
See,
you understand?
I told you I'd be having good ideas because that was a good idea because I needed you to elaborate on that little moment of, what could have happened. That's all.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm glad I can bring clarity
Yeah,
to
you
the
brought me some
diva's
clarity.
thought
You might have-
process.
you might have saved someone's life.
I hope I did. I hope I did. I hope somebody understands that not every.
Because let me tell you why you could have probably saved someone's life. Because maybe by hearing this moment, if it did happen, she could, because that opportunity is available, she can probably.
She
talk
may
to
even
the
ask for it.
She might, be
or
able to
he
ask
might
for
even
it.
ask for it and say to the
Yeah.
prosecutor, if I go to a class,
I get some counseling?
Can I get counseling? And if I go
Yeah.
to counseling, would you be willing to dismiss the case?
Yeah.
You understand? And if he takes anger management and I go to
Yeah.
counseling, or if she takes anger management and I go to counseling.
And so now
you're helping both parties.
exactly,
And
So
you're
now
keeping a
he
family
doesn't-
intact.
right? And now he doesn't think
It's
Wait
okay.
till you get home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but now
She be got it.
now he's educated on what's
Yeah.
domestic violence
Yeah.
and how to control his anger.
Yeah.
And now she's educated on what's domestic
And what's
violence.
acceptable.
And what's acceptable and what's unacceptable. And now a family can
Because
remain
heifer
intact.
might be acceptable, but bitch may not. You got to know the difference. You got to be able to know the difference.
You got to know the difference.
And
You
how
have to
it's
know
said.
that if I'm playing, you understand when I
Yeah.
grab your pants and pull you
Maybe
and say,
we
come here,
shouldn't say
baby.
these. Let's refrain from these words. Let's all agree that we won't say these words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and,
with that.
and safe words. Come up with safe words.
Yeah.
If I'm getting too angry, I'm just going to say bodacious.
Yeah.
And she knows, leave the room because I'm getting there. We're not
Yeah.
going to talk about it right now. We're going to wait till I calm down and we'll come back to the subject.
know,
So I have solutions.
maybe
I do
something
not
like
want to be a
really-
prosecutor. I can tell you that.
Maybe
so all
something
your
real
jobs,
fun.
prosecutors out there, your job is safe.
Right.
I don't want your job.
Maybe something real fun like Dana, Bobana, banana. Break
Something
up some of
funny.
the tension.
Something funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
break up some of
Say
that
something
tension.
funny. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that could be
break up
funny.
the tension, and you like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
You just
Okay,
say,
I'ma leave
one
it
of
alone.
these things doesn't belong here.
Hey,
Can you
hey,
get
hey.
It's you.
That's Sesame Street. One of these things just doesn't belong here. All right, Jada Pinkett Smith listeners, she hopes that Will Smith and Chris Rock have an opportunity to heal, to talk this out, and to reconcile. I think that is the level of hypocrisy that I cannot roll with.
What would you prefer her to say?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. She cannot address what occurred between those two men on that stage. She cannot be the mediator regarding what occurred between her husband and Chris Rock on that Oscar night because she laughed her head off. We saw her immediate reaction to her husband's
got-
conduct. And
after-
I think if she had had a face that looked like this,
Or if she would have rolled her eyes,
or
like,
if she would have rolled her eyes at
like
him
she
like,
did.
oh my God, I can't believe you did that.
yeah, like she did
Some
the first
type
time.
of
Or
kind
had a
of,
face like Dana had at the beginning of the show.
yeah, that too. Yeah, that one.
Or said, sit your ass down somewhere. Sit down.
Or
You're embarrassing us.
gotten up to grab his coat.
Yeah.
Something that says, I'm not affirming this.
Yeah.
This is not what we're doing.
It was my husband. I'd have been like, we got too much money.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. We got too much money. We got too much
She
money.
didn't do anything that night. Not before, not after. Encouraged her husband not to go turn up after.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the partying and singing and dancing and showing it. No. The son the next morning tweeting out, this is what we do. No, nope,
You
nope,
don't
nope,
do
nope,
nothing. You
nope,
wear
nope.
dresses.
Y'all didn't do anything. Y'all didn't do a thing. You understand?
You can't do nothing
So-
in a dress because
so-
you have to have shorts under the dress in
No,
the first
but
place.
first of all,
Like,
first
you
of
can't
all,
get
can you
down in a
stay
dress.
on my topic?
Well,
Can you stay on,
you brought up
Jada?
the sun.
I said he
was-
tweeted. Talk about his tweet.
I know, but what I'm saying is you can't say this is what we do because you wear a dress. And you
Well,
have
that's
to
what
wear
his father
shorts.
does.
Like, that's a thing. Like, we know that you're very limited to what
She cannot mediate between her husband and Chris Rock
I agree.
because she was the catalyst, the reason that the incident occurred in the first place. How do we know? We all saw her husband laugh first, look
cried
over and
later.
saw her reaction.
Cried. He's the definition of Biggie's song, laugh now, cry later. I rhyme greater than the average player hater.
Gee.
That's a Biggie song. Shout out to Biggie. R.I.P.
Is she trying to be the mediator? Or
She
is
cannot.
Just saying, hey, I hope y'all guys make that.
That's why I find it hypocritical. Because I can't tell which one that is. If it's really genuine or if it's Red Table Talk needs some views. And
I'ma
I'm just
watch
need
it.
to talk about Red Table Talk.
They got me. I'm going to watch it.
I don't watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
I don't watch it. But that's okay. She can have her show. I'm not a canceler. I'm not canceling her.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to watch
We
her.
don't cancel nobody here.
No. Diva Court's not in canceling.
If we watch it, we watch it. If we don't,
Everyone
we
is
won't.
entitled to their opinion,
They should.
especially on Diva
You
Court.
can't be
That's why
around-
when she started the show, we made sure she had no opinion.
They Ursula me, okay? Shout out to Ariel and the Little Mermaid. But anyways, I had a thought. I was really about to go somewhere. Let's rewind what you said.
I don't understand what's going on with these
don't
senior
know.
moments.
I don't know.
Previgit.
Look, go back a little bit. Let's take it back into time.
That's why we don't turn on the AC, because when her thoughts start blowing away.
They get frozen. Wait, go back a little bit.
Let it go.
Oh, man,
let it
It'll
go.
come. If it's meant to be, it'll be said.
You don't have that thought anymore.
Shout out to Disney.
Shout out to a mom. Listeners, a mom who missed her college graduation, gave birth, and she received her diploma in her hospital room. Isn't that fantastic?
I mean, I'm not impressed.
I'm impressed.
Women for years have been
In the fields having babies?
having babies and getting degrees for years.
No. You don't understand. She missed graduation.
So?
The school was very
You know how
thoughtful.
many high school girls miss graduation?
Oh, my
'cause
goodness.
They
Did
got
she say high
pregnant
school
at a
girls?
young age. And they still finished.
Excuse me.
Shout out to the young girls in the streets that had a.
You're out of order.
I was speaking to the streets.
Please don't speak to the streets. Okay? That reminded
You
me
can
of
do it too. You know, the young girls in the
it's
streets.
amazing that the school thought of her. Think about it. She's
can
a
work
black
from home
female and she's in the hospital having her baby. They could have said, that's what y'all do. So we're not bringing nothing to you. But they brought the graduation to her and had her in her nice little
mean, that was
robe.
nice.
And her robe was over her robe.
She shouldn't have been walking. Like, you need to be.
Come
in the
on
bed.
now. She didn't walk.
What if she had an epidural?
She walked from that side to that side of
She
the bed.
had an epidural. Her legs a little wobbly. If she didn't have an epidural, she should not be in the hospital.
Let me tell you something.
And if she had a C-section, she should have been laying down.
First
Like,
of all,
I don't trust
hey,
the
is this
story.
thing on? If you have an epidural, they do turn it down when you get ready to push the baby
I know,
out.
but you like.
She didn't have the baby the day they did it. The baby
but
was
you only in the hospital for like 3 days, and they wait for you to get
correct.
your sea
Day
legs
two,
again.
day two, you're good. Day two, you're good.
Day 2, you are not good.
You are good. The epidural's worn off. You're
No,
happy. The
you're
baby's
not
there. You're
good.
breastfeeding. If you breastfeed, you're bottle feeding. If you're
not
bottle feeding,
good.
you're good. Day two.
No,
Come
you
on.
are not good.
Trust me. Some people are going home day two based
No,
on
you
based
gotta
on the
have-
insurance.
You got 72 hours.
Based on your insurance
72
coverage.
hours, you're not good.
Look, the insurance says, ma'am, you ain't got to go home
You
with this
like,
baby.
at
But
the-
you got to get out of here.
Run for you better run for it.
I want to say kudos to the mom. Kudos to the
I ain't gonna
school.
hate on no woman who got her degree while dropping a baby.
Hey,
Yeah, girl.
So let's drink to that. Stop swishing it around.
I can't help it.
Don't
And make it
forget
taste good. Don't you
to
do
look
mine
for
like
our
that?
episodes every Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Find us on Spotify,
Spotify.
Apple Podcasts,
Apple Podcast,
and Google Podcasts.
Google.
Be sure to catch our videos on YouTube each week. And
You in
don't
this
forget,
week. Can we just?
because she's weak.
I didn't have no comeback for that.
No, she didn't.
That's one thing
Thank
I've
you.
never been called.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. No comeback for that. Hallelujah.
Let's wrap this show up. You've been all over the place all day.
Me,
Yes.
Miss Chains on your shackles on your
Break
feet.
every chain. I think I broke the
You
chain.
broke all the chains.
I broke the chain, honey. They can't hold me down.
Oh, Father. Listeners, don't forget to subscribe. Remember, our episode was sponsored by Cutie Nails and Spa in
Hey, Cutie.
Midtown.
Hey, cutie.
Don't forget to get your manicure, pedicure, or your lashes. Butterfly lashes, that is. Or should that be spider lashes? At Cutie Nails and Spa. Let a cutie take care of you.
True that.
That's the end of the episode, and we will drink to that. We got to drink to that.